Ever feel like you blinked and suddenly robots were everywhere?
Right.
Manufacturing is at the forefront of that change, especially with what they call cobots.
Yeah, cobots.
These collaborative robots designed to work right alongside humans. You've been diving into RoleCatcher's insights on automated assembly line operators.
That's right.
So you're already ahead of the curve wanting to know what this new world at work is all about.
It's wild how cobots are changing the game. Assembly lines are becoming so much safer and more efficient. But it means operators need a whole new skill set. We're talking programming basics, troubleshooting these high-tech partners. It's not just turning bolts anymore.
Okay, so definitely not our grandparents' factory job, right?
No, not at all.
This is where my brain starts picturing someone in a sterile white room pushing buttons all day. What's the reality of the work environment like?
Well, picture this. You walk into a facility, and the air hums with this mix of human activity and the precise whirring of machinery. There's a rhythm to it all.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
You've got CNC milling machines, robotic arms, conveyor belts moving with purpose, and you're right in the thick of it.
Wow.
You might be calibrating a machine using G-code programming 1 minute, and the next you're doing quality checks on a freshly assembled component.
Wow, G-code programming, that's seriously next level stuff. So it's hands-on, but also requires some serious brain power. What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about this role?
Most people think it's monotonous, that you're stuck in one spot all day, every day. But in reality, automated assembly line operators, they rotate through different tasks.
Okay.
You might be monitoring the flow of materials, troubleshooting minor issues, or even training new team members.
Interesting.
It keeps things interesting, dynamic.
Okay, so adaptability is key. It sounds like you need a good mix of technical skills and people skills to thrive in this environment. But let's be real. Every job has its challenges, right?
Of course.
What are some of the not-so-glamorous aspects that RoleCatcher highlights?
Yeah, they don't sugarcoat it. You're on your feet a lot. There's a fast pace to keep up with. And depending on the facility, it could be noisy. Safety's paramount, so you'll be following strict protocols, wearing protective gear. It's not for the faint of heart.
I can see how physical stamina and a meticulous approach to safety would be essential. But RoleCatcher also emphasizes some pretty compelling pros,
Right?
like the satisfaction of ensuring consistent quality and contributing to a more efficient production process.
Exactly. When you see a finished product roll off the line and you know you played a key role in making it happen, there's a real sense of accomplishment. It's about precision, problem solving, and taking pride in your work.
So it sounds like this role could be a great fit for someone who likes to work with their hands, enjoys a fast-paced environment, and thrives on the challenge of keeping complex systems running smoothly. But what about those who are looking beyond the day-to-day, who want to climb that career ladder? What kind of potential are we talking about here?
This is where it gets really interesting. Let's dive into the career trajectory of an automated assembly line operator and see just how far this path can take you.
So we've established this isn't your typical factory gig, right? It's a blend of technical know-how and adaptability.
Right.
But what does that actually look like when you're climbing the ranks? RoleCatcher breaks it down into entry-level, junior, and senior roles, each with growing responsibilities.
Think of it like mastering a video game.
Okay.
You start at level 1, learning the ropes. As an entry-level operator, you're working closely with experienced colleagues, getting comfortable with the machinery, mastering those safety protocols. You might even assist with some basic maintenance tasks.
Okay, so a solid foundation is key. Then you level up to junior operator. What's changed?
Now you're not just following instructions, you're starting to anticipate them. You're operating machinery more independently, maybe even tackling some basic programming tweaks on your own. You might be troubleshooting those minor equipment hiccups, training newer team members. You're essentially becoming a go-to person on the line.
You're trusted with more responsibility, but also becoming a mentor yourself.
Exactly.
That's a cool stage. And then there's the top tier, senior automated assembly line operator.
Yeah.
What sets these folks apart?
They've seen it all, they've done it all, and they can probably fix anything with like a well-placed wrench and some G-code magic.
Now that's a great image.
But seriously, though, senior operators are the linchpins of the entire operation.
Wow.
They're not just overseeing the line, they're responsible for optimizing the entire production process. They work closely with supervisors, they identify bottlenecks, they suggest improvements, and they're the ones called in when there's a major malfunction that has everyone stumped.
It sounds like they have a deep understanding of the entire production process, not just their individual tasks.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher really emphasizes the importance of continuous learning for anyone who's serious about reaching that senior level. We're talking additional certifications like forklift operation, which, by the way, isn't just driving a forklift. It's understanding weight distribution, load safety, all of that, or even something like an OSHA 10-hour certification, which shows you're serious about workplace safety and health regulations.
Right, those credentials send a message that you're invested in your own growth and the success of the operation.
Exactly. And for those with real ambition, even pursuing higher education in a related field like mechatronics or industrial engineering can be a game changer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it opens doors to leadership roles, process improvement initiatives, and a much higher earning potential.
It's clear that this isn't a dead-end job. There are multiple paths for growth within this field. RoleCatcher even provides these really cool example profiles of people at different stages in their careers, and they highlight a senior operator who started with just a high school diploma. But through years of hands-on experience and additional training, they're now leading teams and even implementing process improvements that increase efficiency. It's pretty inspiring. But let's be real. Getting your foot in the door is step one. How do you actually nail that interview and convince a hiring manager that you're the perfect fit for this world of automation?
That's where things get really interesting. Even in a field dominated by technology, those human interactions are still crucial. Let's unpack some of the key insights RoleCatcher provides about acing that all-important interview.
So imagine this. You're prepped for your interview, you've brushed up on your G code, you're practically radiating those safety-first vibes.
Right.
But how do you actually convey all that awesomeness to a hiring manager?
It's almost like a paradox, right? We're talking about working with all this automation, but it's really those human skills that seal the deal.
Interesting.
RoleCatcher really zeroes in on a few key things that employers in this field they're looking for.
Okay, let's break those down. What are some of the top traits that make an automated assembly line operator stand out from the crowd?
Problem solving. Like,
Ah.
number one, think back to a time you faced a real head scratcher on a project, maybe even something outside of work. How did you approach it? Did you break it down into smaller steps? Try different solutions? Did you stay calm under pressure? Those are the stories that really bring your skills to life in an interview.
It's not enough to just say, I'm a great problem solver.
No, not a...
You really need to back it up with a real-life example.
Exactly. And this line of work is all about the details. Precision matters.
Right.
So highlighting your attention to detail is huge. Have you ever had to follow a complex set of instructions, like to a T, maybe building something intricate? Or perhaps you've had a role where, spotting tiny flaws was crucial.
Yeah.
Those experiences, they demonstrate that you're not going to let anything slip through the cracks.
Right. It's about connecting the dots between your past experiences and the specific demands of this role.
Yeah.
They want to know you can handle that level of detail day in and day out.
Yes, absolutely. And while we're talking about showcasing your best self, don't underestimate the power of genuine enthusiasm. Like, think back to a time you were really jazzed about a project.
Yeah.
That energy, it's contagious. Employers can sense when you're genuinely interested in the work, and that can make all the difference.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to hire someone who seems bored by the prospect of working with, cutting-edge technology.
Exactly. Now, RoleCatcher mentions some pretty cool resources that can help you nail that interview. They even hint at, like, AI-powered practice tools.
It's like having a secret weapon almost.
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine practicing your answers to common interview questions and then getting instant feedback from an AI? That's next level preparation.
It's really incredible how technology can help you put your best foot forward, even in a traditionally face-to-face scenario.
So to sum it all up, to really rock that interview, showcase your problem-solving skills with real-life examples, highlight your eagle eye for detail,
Yes,
and let your genuine enthusiasm for this field shine through.
that's it.
Oh, and maybe leverage some AI practice tools while you're at it.
There you go.
It's been fascinating, this whole journey exploring this rapidly evolving field. Who knew automation could be so, human?
Right.
We hope this deep dive has given you a clearer picture of what it takes to thrive in this exciting world. Until next time, keep those gears turning and that enthusiasm high.